Okay, so let's see the practical app you are going to develop at the end of these lessons. So this is the source code you will be developing, and once you run it, you will see a web application, and this is a survey system. You are going to develop a real world survey system, and this is a complete project where the admin can log in, can register if they want, or they can log in using their previous credentials. Likewise, and sign in, and then admin will be taken to the admin dashboard, which has lots of options such as to define the questions. These are all coming from the database dynamically, and you will learn how to add, edit, delete the data and populate the data dynamically likewise, and define the questions so the data will appear dynamically. And then you will learn how to create settings pages and save the data to the database once again, and see who are the respondents who has taken this survey, and with the log information. You will learn how to create sophisticated search dashboards, and you will learn about how to filter data and search, where admin can find information about different users who has taken the survey. So and then if I log out, and then a normal user, if a normal user comes to the home page, a normal user can start taking the survey. A user can register if needed, or if not, a user can take it anonymously. User will be able to take this anonymously. Let's say if this is test2 user, so test2 at, so, and if user says no, I don't want to register, and if user says next, then the survey will start anonymously, and all the data is coming from the database. So you learn about connecting to a remote database, which is not in this computer, it's on a remote server. So you will learn how to do that, and then you will learn how to take the survey questions, and there will be multiple survey questions. So I will just fast forward this. So I fast forwarded the questions, I just click next and answered them. And final question is, what is the state? So if the user says okay, this is the state, and click next, and these are the questions I answered. So and then the user or the respondent can review them and submit the answers. So then the data will go into the remote database. So you will learn about how to save it, and click next, and then it takes the user or the respondent back to the home page. So this is the app you will be developing at the end of these lessons. And the specialty of this app is it's a data driven app, and it's completely dynamic, and all the data is coming from the database, and there is admin dashboard, a sophisticated admin dashboard, and a separate user sessions. You will learn the complete source code from the scratch to develop this. So let's go and develop this application now. Let's start doing it now. Hi everyone, welcome to ASP.NET Complete Project Service System Part 10 User Registration. So this is a complete project, and we will be talking and explaining you how real world developers will develop a complete application. These are the tools we will be using in this lecture, and make sure to cover the prerequisites, because this is a continuation of a complete project, so you need to make sure you look at the previous lessons. So in this session, you will be learning about the user registration, which is optional for the user or the respondent. Both are the same, we refer the user respondent, and we will save the registration information to the database, and without using any SQL helper class. And also we will run the SQL in the backend database and check and verify whether the data is saved. So as usual, it's going to be practical demonstrations. So let's go and do the practical now. So this is the project we have developed up to the previous lesson. So the user can start the survey, the respondent can start the survey, and we'll be asking for the email. And if the user says, okay, do you want to quickly register? If the user says yes, we have to take the user to the registration page, and that is what we are going to do now. And if user says no, we have to take the user directly to the registration page, right? So we will create the dummy. Sorry, if the user says no, we have to take the user to the survey page. So if you select yes, we have to take the user to the registration page. If user says no, we have to take the user to the survey page so that user can directly take the survey without registering. And if we say cancel, we have to take the user to the home page. So we'll quickly write the coding, for the no button and the cancel very quickly, and then we will go and create the registration page. We are also going to organize the code. So I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it as the view, which means the front end. And in the view, I'm going to create another folder, and I will call it as respondent. So inside this, I'm going to have all the respondent user pages, such as respondent registration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this into the respondent folder. Why we do this is to organize the code. So then when I have admin pages, I can inside view, I can create another folder called admin and put those. And the common pages like the home page and the start survey is also for respondents. So I will drag this from here into the respondent folder. So all the respondent user related pages I will keep in the respondent folder with view. View means the front end, then utility is separate, and the common pages will not go into view. So if the common page will be just there, only the even this common page, this common page also has to go, but that has to go to the view, not to the respondent. So inside the view, you will have the home page because it's a front end, but any respondent related ones will be inside the respondent. So that is a quick organizing of the code. And now let's write the code for the earlier buttons what I mentioned. So for the cancel button inside the start survey page, what I want to do is that button is a HTML button. So in the source code, so when the user says cancel, what I would like to do is take the user to the home page. So because of that, I'm going to put a anchor tag, a href a tag, anchor tag, and when the user click this button, so I'm going to put this code cancel button inside this. So when the user click this code, what I'm going to do is, let's save this. Let's do few things. So in the hyperlink, in the anchor tag, what I'm asking is for the user to direct to the home page. So why do we say dot dot? Because this start survey page is inside the respondent folder, but the home page is not inside the respondent folder. It's one level above in the view. So because the home page is not inside the respondent folder, and because it's one level above it inside the view, that is why you say dot dot, meaning go one level above the home. So that is the cancel button. And then let's also write code for the if user select no, then I want to directly go to the survey page. So because of that, I will also have to create a survey page and at least a dummy page and keep, and let's do it now. So let's create a dummy survey page for now, for the time being. So inside the respondent, because the survey is taken by a respondent, because of that I'm clicking new item, and web form with master because I won't have the same template, and then I'm creating the page as survey inside the respondent folder. I want it to use the site1 master template. So in the survey page, inside over here, inside the main content, we will just put the heading only for the time being. We will say something like, okay, welcome to the survey, and just keep it for the time being like that. So we will just say online survey. We'll press the enter. Later we will be adding stuff. We'll make it bold and we will make it H3. Also we will put a background color to be consistent with the other pages. So now this is the survey page. So what we want to do in the start survey page is, if the user says no, do you want to register? No. And click next. That means over here, if you select yes, we have to redirect the user to the registration page. If you select no, we have to just send the user to the survey page so that the user can take the survey without registering. So I'm going to copy this redirect and put over here, and simply put the survey.aspx survey. So survey. So now if we run this, you will see once the home page is loaded, okay, the home page, and if the user says start survey, okay, so I'm getting a location error. So because the start survey, if you look here, is not inside the view. It's inside the view, but also it's inside respondent. So when I say start survey, I have to say respondent. So which means let's see where that where to be updated. So from the home page, if I expand this, if I go to the design, start survey, which is a HTML button over here, so that the start survey page, the home page is here, but the start survey page is inside respondent, right? So I have to say it should go into respondent, because the home page is here, then the start survey is inside respondent. So I will just copy this folder name, and over here when it says start survey, I will say okay, it is inside respondent, right, in respondent folder. So now let's run this, and this should be all fine. So let's click start survey, and now it loads. And if the user says yes, it will take the user to the registration page. But if user says no, it will directly take the user to the survey page without registering. And if user, I click the back button, if user select cancel, it will take the user back to the home page. So that basic part is done. So now what we will focus now is the registration page. So let's say if user says yes, register, and click next. So now I want to register the user and save the user to the database. So now let's do that part. Okay, so we will go into the respondent registration page, and we will add the controls such as the labels, the buttons, so that we can let the respondent to register. So over here, let's start adding a couple of labels and text boxes. So let's create the first one as, let's say, the email, but then we have to put this into a table. So what I will do is I will go to the toolbox, then HTML table, so that everything will be nicely aligned. And then inside the first cell, I'm going to type, okay, when the respondent registers, I want the email. And let's say then I want the given names or the first names, right? Let's say that. So I'm just putting that. And then let's say I want the last name likewise. So yeah, let's say I want the last name. So I'm going to put the rest and fast forward this code. So if the number of rows are not enough, what you can do is in the table, you can just go to the source of the table and you can add a couple of more rows. So go to the source, and also let's say I want only 2 columns. So I can just delete the last TD, because let's say I want only 2 columns in the table. And then let's say if I want a couple of more rows, I can just copy the TR. and then I will go back to the design sorry, design, and add more labels, let's say the last name and likewise. And now let's put the text boxes in front. So let's click on the other cell which is at the corner, the second cell, then go to the toolbox and let's add text boxes and the relevant input controls. So let me add them and fast forward this part. And for the date of birth, we will put a calendar control for the date of birth. And then let's put some buttons at the bottom. Let's do it now. So let's put a register button over here in this cell. So let's put a ASP button. If I want to get the same look and feel, I can copy it from another page. Let us say home page, start survey, this one. For example, in the start survey, I have ASP button, which I have the blue color background. So I can copy it from here so that I will get the same look and feel. And then I will come to register page, and then I will click on this cell, and then I will paste it. And then if I click over here, yeah, I can see it says BTN next, but what I want to do is I want the text to be register, and then I want the button also to be button register, the ID, right? And then I need a cancel button. So the cancel button, I can just take it, make it HTML button, because for the when I click cancel, I just want to go to the home page. So if I just want to go to the home page without writing in C# code, then it's enough to put a HTML button. So that is why I'm going to put a HTML button to the cancel, because when I click cancel, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go to another page. So I can just put a hyperlink. That is why I'm just putting HTML button to the cancel. So in this cell over here, let's just paste it, the cancel button. So now let's see what's next, what to be done next for this UI. Now let's say you want to keep the calendar, the date of birth, the calendar hidden first, and when the user click on a button, let's say you want to load the calendar, and let's say then you want to display that in a text box. So if that is what you want to do, in front of date of birth, what you will do is you will put another text box in front of the calendar just to display the date, and then you move the cursor next to it. Then you will also put a button so that you can, when you click the button, you can make the calendar visible. Until that, you can keep it hidden. Let's display the text calendar in that button. Awesome. And then let's see what's next in this interface.